Good morning to everyone. In fact, I think I'm the odd man out here. I'm the only one who doesn't have any background in ICT. I'm basically from the brick and mortar industry. But by virtue of running some educational campuses, running engineering colleges, I think I've been called for this meeting. So I'd like to thank JKC for inviting me here. And yes, it is a challenge because today in Andhra Pradesh alone, we have close to 700 engineering colleges. And how many of these students are ready for the real world? And I think before that, how many of the faculty are qualified to teach these students? I think this is definitely a major issue going on here. And coming to us, we run two major campuses, one near Hyderabad and one in the coastal part of the state. We have close to 10,000 students studying in various disciplines like engineering, pharmacy, dentistry, degree, etc., etc. And one is in the urban setting, the other one is in a very rural setting. And we see a lot of differences between the attitudes of the students coming through a rural setting as well as a urban setting. So how do you differentiate yourselves from the rest of the crowd, and how do you make these students more ready for the industry, whether it's IT or whether it's core subjects, etc., etc. So this question we asked ourselves about 3-4 years back, and we have also realized those days are gone where we can get 4 to 5 companies to the campus and recruit all the students. We have to get more number of companies. There is definitely an attitude among the students that they want to only join an Infosys or a TCS or an IBM or an Accenture. They don't want to get into the medium level companies. There are also opportunities in startup companies, excellent opportunities. In fact, I advise a lot of students look at some of the startup companies because a lot of good technologies are being brought up by them. So what are those differentiators which we started doing? This might be of interest to the people here. If you look at our campus closer to Hyderabad, we started an incubation/innovation center exactly 1 year back. It's a very small facility located just about 3 kilometers from where we are sitting, and we actually invited companies and students from other colleges also to come there and start working. So people are very skeptical. How can a tier 4 college like yours start an incubation center? Because in India we realize on the top of the pyramid you have the IITs, then you have the NITs, and then you have the good government engineering colleges, and then at the bottom of the pyramid you have colleges like ours, which are all the private colleges which have mushroomed in the last 10-15 years. So how do you differentiate yourselves from the rest of the crowd? We set up a small facility just about 3 to 4 kilometers from here, and we are amazed that we are running out of space there. The first company which came there was a startup started by 6 young people from IIT Kharagpur and IIT Delhi. And these people had this big dream that they want to make a product better than Apple iPad. So they actually shifted from Delhi. They're all Delhi-based people. They shifted to Bangalore because Bangalore is the hub of technology in India. And they started looking for venture capital. They started looking for people to collaborate with. Wherever they went, they were turned back saying, how can Indians produce a hardware product to match Apple iPad? We are all only good in software. But these people had a dream. And what they did is they tied up with National Institute of Design in Bangalore for the hardware part. They tied up with NVIDIA for the chip, which was actually at that point of time still in a laboratory stage. They tied up for the screen, a very unique screen from Taiwan, which was also the first of its kind. Then they wanted people to work on the operating system, using operating system Android, Google. They wanted to develop some applications. Apparently, they approached some of the tier 1 software companies, and they were being quoted per human being, per resource, per month, more than 1 lakh of rupees. And these people were a startup, they didn't have any money. Some of the news spread through some common friends. They came to Hyderabad and saw our center. And within a day, we said, okay, let's do something here. We gave them the space, we gave them the hardware, we gave them the bandwidth, we brought them stuff which they wanted. And we only said, why don't you train some of our students? When you look at the JNTU syllabus, because most of the colleges here are affiliated to JNTU, Google Android operating system is not part of the syllabus. In operating systems, we still have only Unix and Windows and stuff like that. But then some of these students came forward and said, sir, if we are willing to learn it, can they give us the opportunity to work there? And you'll be surprised, within 4 months, about 49 students from computer science, IT, MC, etc., etc., they shifted to the center. And the first time we were seeing that 24/7 operations were happening by students who are studying in the 3rd year of engineering. You all know that it's very difficult to pull students into the classrooms and labs because they think engineering is very dull. Here we had a scenario where students actually shifted their houses closer to the center, and they started actually working the whole night. And on the Thanksgiving Day weekend, This particular product is going to be launched in US. Most of you might be knowing this product. You can do a Google search. The name of the product is called Adam, and the name of the company is called Notion Inc. And we are very proud that as a Tier 4 engineering college in Andhra Pradesh, 49 of our students were involved in developing all the applications using Android operating system. Okay. Now coming to the rural college, it's an exclusive women's engineering college. It's a campus having the largest number of women in Andhra Pradesh. We have close to 4,000 girls studying there, 3,000 living in hostels there. Because typically what's happening today with the mushrooming of all these engineering colleges, most of these colleges have become day scholar type of colleges where you don't even know your colleague, your co-student. You go in buses and come back. There we had the luxury of space, so we built a lot of hostels. About 3,300 girls are living there. But as one of the speakers said, it's the confidence levels of these students coming from the rural areas. They're very good in math, they're very good in physics, very good in logic and analysis, but communication skills and their confidence levels are very low. So what did we do there? We set up some unique labs, but then we said, let's do something. And we set up the first campus FM radio in Andhra Pradesh. As far as I know, it's the second FM radio in South India, but it's the one in India which is actually running 12 hours a day with no repeats. Everything is being run by the faculty as well as the students. Because a lot of people will be scared to speak in front of an audience, but they can go to an auditorium, closed room like this and start recording programs. Every day the news is read out by a couple of students. Every day the current events are read out. District programs, because it's a community radio, but the technology is the latest. Whatever you find in Radio Mirchi, we have put there, the latest equipment, the transmitters, etc. Luckily, being a rural area, there's no other FM radio which interferes on the signal there. So for a radius of 25 kilometers, our programs are beamed, and we are actually catering to an audience of about 4 to 5 lakhs. So the radio has become very popular there. So these are some of the things which we have done actually to build the confidence levels of these students who are coming from rural areas. The last point I'd like to make is recently we established an assistive technology lab, first of its kind. Assistive technology / accessibility engineering / rehabilitation engineering. Basically, you have a lot of people in the society who are physically, mentally handicapped. And is there something we could do with technology to improve the quality of life? So we picked up this idea from University of Massachusetts, Lowell, about 2 years back. We requested that faculty member to come over here. And these 2 labs were established about 16 months back. And the results are phenomenal. The first time we are seeing students actually applying what they learned in classrooms, whether it's software or whether it's hardware, biomedical, etc., and asking the principal to keep the labs open 24 hours. We never saw this before. The idea is twofold. One is that engineering and technology need not be dull and boring. It should be interesting. It should apply to real life situations. Second, we also wanted to see that the social awareness of these students picks up, because they are working with a lot of NGOs around Hyderabad. Swikar, Upkar, Abhilasha Foundation, etc. They're actually having, each student group has got a client who's physically or mentally disabled. And if you see some of the products which have come out, it's phenomenal. They made an electronic stick for the blind with sensors which can not only detect objects in front of them but also below them, so that they need not have a misstep, whether they step up or step down, also they can see it. Voice activated wheelchairs. They've also designed products with the movement of an eyebrow. The mouse of a computer can be actually operated. This was designed for a patient with an ALS syndrome. Who's doing all this? It's not MTech students, not PhD students, basically third year and final year students. Okay, we are seeing, because ultimately we had to quantify all these things. We are seeing campus recruitments are going up. We are seeing companies calling us up saying we want students with a Google Android operating system background. We were told that some of the students are involved in that. So I just wanted to brief you people on some of the things which we are doing as a Tier 4 college. We want to build up the confidence levels, because I myself am a product of NIT. I don't see much difference between an NIT and a private college as long as the vision is there. Because for technology, especially in the ICT field, for technology to come into textbooks and for the technology to be absorbed by faculty first, it is taking minimum 2 to 3 years, and I'm sure the industry is not ready for that. So these are some of the things, initiatives we have taken to bridge that gap. And we also work with a lot of other colleges. We'd like to share the information, because ultimately we need to make these students more employable and see that we can produce good product from here. So thank you very much for your patient hearing, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you very much.